Hello, this is Sue Simmons from Equinox Family Consulting and lemons2lemonade.mom. Tonight I'm going to tell you about something I'm sure that every single family on the planet, autism or not, can appreciate, and that is why do these same, blow-ups happen over and over and over. And it's not rocket science, folks, but it is something you need to understand. But before I go there, I just want to say that I finally received my copy of this amazing book by Dr. Mona Delahooke, Beyond Behaviors, Using Brain Science and Compassion to Understand and Solve Children's Behavior Challenges. And what I love about this woman is she is really taking the lead in challenging the way that we view behavior. And this is something I've been doing for a long time. She's got a much bigger audience, obviously, than I do, but it's just so great to have my beliefs and all of the work that I do really confirmed by this book. So it's a wonderful book. I would highly recommend it. And on that note, it's very exciting that here in Ontario, Canada, the work that I do, which is parent training, is now, from what I understand, funded in the province of Ontario. So if you are the parent of a child on the autism spectrum and you are eligible for funding, you have a choice now. So you can choose parent training, like my online program, which will help you to improve behavior, make your home more peaceful. And, my gig is about transforming your emotional chaos into calm so you can enjoy a more peaceful and loving relationship with your child and family. All right. So these negative cycles that occur over and over and over, let's break them down bit by bit, okay? I'm going to share one with you that occurred between my son and I constantly, practically every day. And because I didn't know what to do, it just kept repeating itself. And it was agonizing, as anyone who's been in this situation understands. So he would come home from school. He would be in a foul mood, and he would say something nasty or rude. And of course, after doing my thing all day and, organizing dinner, whatever, I would say something back, and then he would get mad at me, and then I would get really frustrated. Diane, hello, it's so nice to see you. Welcome back. And so then the whole evening would be toast, and it would just destroy the mood for the entire night. And he would be mad, I would be mad, and it would just, it was just awful, right? And who wants that in their life? If there was a solution, would you want to be in the know? Okay, so I'm going to explain. Thank you. I'm going to explain this to you. Why does this happen? And the first thing I want to say is, going back to this book, Beyond Behaviors. In this book, and in my work, obviously this is a different kettle of fish from my work, but there's a lot of synchronicity between the approaches, and she is someone who I greatly admire. So she talks, as I do in my programs, about not taking behavior at face value and not addressing it with punitive measures and consequences and so on. we need to understand that there is a reason for behavior, just like there's a reason for our behavior. Okay, so this is from slides from one of my programs, so I'm going to hold it up here. I hope you can see that. Can you read that? So basically, yes, excellent. Okay, so basically what happens is, you see on the left, the child does something, some kind of, undesirable, unwanted behavior. And then what happens is, without awareness, the parent, so they're at the top in the red, the parent reacts, right? And immediately there is a huge shift in the energy between parent and child. So all of a sudden, we have rigidity meeting rigidity. Okay, and so what is going to happen when rigidity meets rigidity? More rigidity. That's what you're going to get. So all of a sudden, the energy is horrible and everyone feels crappy. The child, who has feelings just like all of us, feels shame, anger, resentment, whatever it may be. And there was a reason for that child's behavior in the first place. Okay, that's one of the most important things to recognize here. So then the parent reacts to that. So next thing you know, the parent gets triggered. And, as adults, when things happen to us, what do? Well, we make meaning of them and we take things personally. So we may think to ourselves, I can't even control my child, or I can't do anything right, or I suck as a parent, or I never should have blah, 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 or whatever it may be, and we marinate in our thoughts. Does that make sense? Is this making sense? Give me a thumbs up if you're getting this. Okay, so then next thing is a disconnection. So all of a sudden, parent and child completely disconnect. And they each go off in their own direction, and both angry, both hurt, and both in a very, very bad energetic state. And so what all of this is telling us is that our children, yes, they're autistic, but they have emotional reactions to things just like we do. And we are the grown-ups here. We are the parents. And it's up to us to model the behavior that we want to see our children using. And that takes practice, okay? And that's where, parent coaching comes in. But trust me, it can be done, and it makes a world of difference. So I'm going to go back to the example with my son. So when I got all of this finally, like once I really, really got it, I was able to anticipate. So I recognize that as a trigger time, or the arsenic hour. And so I would be anticipating him coming in the door in that foul mood. Why I didn't do that before, I don't know, because I was lacking awareness, right? I just wasn't aware of what was going on for me energetically and mentally. And yeah, thank you. And so when he came in the door, rather than me going, to what he was saying, I showed him empathy. And I would very gently say, pardon me, I'm just looking at the comments here. I would say, oh, looks like you had a bad day, or something to that effect. In other words, I was responding. I wasn't reacting. And this is all about energy, no matter how you slice it. It's all about energy. So when I would say, oh, I'm sorry you had a bad day, he would soften because I would be empathizing with him. I wasn't pushing back, right? I was giving him the space that he needed just to express himself. And that one thing alone can change the landscape entirely with your child when he or she is really in a funk. If you think about you and I, and we're all humans, we're no different in so many ways. You know, if you were really mad and I said, well, why did you take it personally? That my energy meeting yours would create friction. But if I said, wow, that sounds tough, your energy is going to come down, right? Because you feel heard. And that's a human need, is to feel heard. So that is why these cycles repeat over and over. And at the base of all of this are two main components. Number one, behavior is communication, meaning that your child's behavior is happening not randomly, it's happening for a reason. And number two, that we as parents, the more awareness we can build about our own, you know, I was joking with a client of a young autistic boy with autism the other day about taking his internal temperature, kind of like using a thermometer in his ear to take his internal temperature and to sort of gauge where he was at. That's the kind of thing that we need to start realizing is so central to making our lives better with our children and for our families. So that is what the negative behavior cycle between parents and children looks like, and that's how it is perpetuated. Hi, Vicky. Oh my goodness, it's so nice to see you. So I am just super thrilled that we're seeing more of a shift toward understanding that behavior is communication, not trying to fix the child, but trying to understand the child and trying to shift what we're doing to support the child, okay? We are the parents of these children. We can do this. We are strong. And so if any of this resonates with you, and if you want to chat with me about my Better Behavior and Beyond program, please let me know. And I am going to be signing off in a moment. You can always ask a question after the fact if you're watching this later, and I will definitely answer. So, changes in the wind, mamas. We have power that we never thought we did. We are now beginning to understand that we can make change in our children, lasting change in our children, and we do not need to be dependent on professionals for everything and be left out in the cold, unless that's where we'd like to be, and that's a choice too. All right, okay, thank you so much for being here, and I will see you again next Thursday, same time, same back channel, and have a great night, okay? Take care, everyone. Bye.